Hi, Pritam. Tomorrow's match against Mohammedan is very crucial for Blasters because Mohammedan is top position. So, what is your expectation and preparation about the crucial match against Mohammedan?
First of all, good morning everyone. And every match is important for us now. And tomorrow is another match against Mohammedan. They are a very good team, and the preparation last 6 or 7 days, the way we training, I think we all are prepared to face them, and we'll give our best to try to win the points, especially at our home. So we need to 3 points of tomorrow.
Hi Pritam. This is the question from Bengali writer Ajit Ghosh. So the question is, do you think you really have a strong defense lineup to resist Mohammedan's attack, especially Potatoes, Innings and Sadiq trio?
See, I think the way we train last 6-7 days, and obviously defensively we need to stay strong tomorrow. And we are not thinking about only 2 players, Dimitri and Sadiq, who are coming. I think the few more players, they have very good quality from them. And we are playing 11 players, they are also playing 11 players. So we need to defend like always. The coach said that we attack with 11 players and defend with 11 players. So I think we stay calm, cool, and stay compact, and we'll see tomorrow.
Hi Pritam, all the best for the game tomorrow.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations on the national team point.
Thank you.
After a long time, your thoughts, how do you think? Will you make it to the last 25?
See, now I only thinking about tomorrow's match. If I'm getting make it a 25, okay, no problem. I'll go and give my best, but only I'm thinking now about tomorrow's match.
Good morning, Coach.
Morning.
Coach, you had a very training match against Bengaluru, like a last-minute goal and all these things.
Yeah.
What do you say about tomorrow's match against the top of the table team?
Well, we always proved that whenever it comes to big games, that with us it's never boring. So we always try to create some roller coaster or interesting moments during that game. So I expect kind of same tomorrow. Both teams motivated, both teams wanting to win the game, both teams wanting to fight for top table. So, we as a team, as a club, always I repeat that since we started, we wanted to create this kind of feeling, to play against the best, to show our best side against the best. Of course, there are many games where you miss certain things, you want to add some new things, and then depending on small details, especially in this kind of games, I think till the end of the season now, not only us, but every team, it will go about small details. And on top level, when you play big games, it goes about one moment, it goes about one small detail, one small mistake that can solve the situation, solve the game. And then I think in a past now, this season, every time we were losing these kind of games, it was about one goal. Also we were fighting against these teams, home and away, winning those games. It's always tight because somehow this stadium here and this ambience creates that every player, whether it's home player or away player, they want to give the best, because that's the beauty of the football. So I think that, tomorrow it's boys, enjoy with a smile, we go in a fight, we go to fight against one of the best teams of the league, show our best face, and of course trying to get positive result. That's the approach, nothing more than that. I always repeat, it must never be pressure for anybody, it's kind of pleasure, because as a player you must be proud of yourself that you arrived to this level to play these kind of games.
As you get into the last few games, is there a lot of pressure now?
No, I think that, look, again, I think comparing the, let's say, third season now in a row, again, since we arrived, the Kerala Blasters was always struggling to pass 20 points in a season. Now again, I think we are reaching the level of 30 points where actually it gives us that hope that you can be there. You're among the best, of course. In that process, it always takes time. Then again, I don't like to repeat those things and to use them as excuses, not at all. Injuries and many things that you have to change during the season, and if the season is on a short term, then it's kind of suffering. We try to do with all these issues, we try to go through all those moments with a smile, with positivity, try to get positive out of that, to stay there, to be among the best. So no, pressure in football again. Pritam can answer that. I always repeat these things in our topics, that as a player today on a senior level, let's say in ISL, you were gifted that you can play football, that you can do something that you love, and then as a player you must never have pressure. It's a pleasure because you were working so hard to arrive to that level, and then as a professional sportsman, when you understand that you are kind of privileged every day, still today as an ex-pro football player and today as a coach, every morning I wake up, I say, thank you God, because you gifted me in one part of my life that I can participate in this beautiful job and beautiful sport, and then with a smile, it's a pleasure. It must never be a pressure because you're doing something that you love, you're playing for your people, your community, your fans, for yourself, for your team, and it's awesome. It's kind of awesome. So it must never be a pleasure. You compete against somebody else, you try to give your best without any regret. When you win, of course, it's awesome. Sometimes when you don't win, if you give everything again, there is no regret because maybe today the opponent was better, and we'll see you next time. So this is the way I think about professional sport, about football. So try to transfer that to players. It must never be a pressure for them. Then speaking about the fact that a couple of them, they got international call-up for national team, they must be even more proud because it means that it's a confirmation of a good work. So that's all. So be proud, have pleasure to be part of this great thing, and let's rock it together, try to get positive result.
Coach, in the match against FC Goa, after trying 2 goals in first half, but after first half, Blasters has scored 4 goals in the second half. But in the match against Bengaluru FC, Blasters has conceded the last minute goal. So how do you evaluate this type of performance? The one 4 goal in the second half and the crucial 1 goal conceded in the second half.
Well, of course it's kind of different when you play home and away games. I think that in the last game our opponent played one of the best games in the season so far. And of course, it goes about quality. It goes about one small detail. A player who can shot the ball perfectly in the corner. These kind of things make difference. Even before we conceded that goal in the last game, we had 2 or 3 situations where we had chance to, score a goal but the decision making in the last part and in the last minutes is something what creates difference. Of course, we knew before the game that it will go about 1 goal. It will be really tight because that was this kind of game. Then if you speak about fact that having 0-2 at the halftime, that you have to react on a different way, you have to change certain things, the approach, how you have to accelerate. And if you are in a game like in the last, you are 0-0 in a halftime, you want them to change something depending on your opponents. There are these games that it will go about that small detail, and the games like in the last, we didn't see many chances from both sides, and that in these games you cannot get 20 chances, and that's a small detail. That's how it goes on a highest level, especially in the games where it's tight and you are fighting for that point. So the games are always different. So as a team you want to secure your defense line, comparing to your previous game where you conceded 2 goals in the first half. Then you work on that to be secure from behind, not to concede goal in the first period of the game. And then of course, maybe sometimes missing that last touch or quality in front, like it was the case before in the beginning of the season. But again, missing some players is not an excuse. We have to deal with it. So that's how it goes. And sometimes, like I said, with us, it's never boring. So, we always can create something that even for us it's surprising. But that's the beauty of the game, how you respond to certain situations as a player, as a team, and of course as a unit. So hope for the best for tomorrow.
Is there any new injury update?
Is there any new
injury update?
Hopefully not. Now whenever we are speaking about like last part of the season now, 1 month, and when everybody is asking, what are kind of objectives and what would you like to, and in my head the first thing like, okay, let's just finish the season without injuries, if possible. That's our first thought, because even now I think during the week, tomorrow we are 13th. I think from 15th we will have Luna back with us. Starting with the training sessions a little bit with the medical stuff first, and then we'll see in the next 10 days, probably end April, we'll see the situation if he can be fully with the team. Then probably Sotirio coming soon to join us with the team till the end, and actually trying to recover some of these boys. So far, waiting now in a couple of days that Sachin will go for a surgery, of his shoulder. So hopefully that we can keep like this till the end, and that we'll lose nobody else. So as a coach, that's it. But again, you have to deal with it. Youngsters are there to jump in.
Hi, coach.
Hello.
You're always saying that in the ISL, any team can beat any other team.
Yeah.
But still, we look to teams like Mohan Bagan or Odisha FC or Mumbai City FC. They are indeed look different. How do you see that situation?
On a long term, whenever the season is finished, on the long term, the ranking never lies. So then on a long term season, there is always that quality that will come on top. On a short term, you can make good momentum, you can make good series of results, but at the end, that's the quality that will solve these situations. Then, if we compare ourselves to another teams from top, it's quite impossible. First, from the financial and budget size, it's impossible. Then, because these teams, they can go around and buy whoever they want. We are not in that kind of situation. Then, with the vision of owners, the club, kind of obligation to community to create also some new young players. That's kind of a vision of one club. Then getting the new experienced players like Pritam, Pravir, and any other guys who are making you a little bit different. This is what we are. Then we want to compete against those big teams. We want to be there, and so far we managed, I think, to beat all the teams from ISL. So we show that it's possible, that anybody can beat anybody. We see this season that some teams that in the last 2 years were not in a position to win games, yet they can win games against big teams. So every day we can see surprises, because I think that many teams got cut in January. We were talking about it with the Asian Cup and Super Cup, that many teams got reset to zero, then rebuilding up, and then some of them who had this changing coaching staff, new energy coming in, new enthusiasm, new wave of positive results, which actually creates this kind of difference now. So, of course, you want to compete against those teams. We want to be there. We proved it, and we can beat all of them, home or away, doesn't matter. So actually, in this league, anything's possible. So, and somehow, on a professional level, as a mental side, if you think that, like we had this bad game, we were talking about it against Punjab here. If you as a team, you arrive and say we are playing against the team from bottom, and then, it will be easy, and the stadium is not full, and you take it easy, then you get punished. Even if maybe on paper, or even if you in your full power potential, you can beat them, but in football that's not the case. Every game, even if you're playing against academy teams, younger teams, whoever you're playing, this fighting spirits, we want to do the job, we want to get the points. This is what makes the teams great. They never switch off. We were talking, good players, good teams, they play good whenever they want, and they can win games. Great teams, they never switch off. They always play good. In a training session, in a hotel, when they play some small games or whatever, in PlayStation, they always want to win. So this is the difference. So, and we want to be that. So.
Coach, the team is not able to keep the clean sheets, especially this year. The last clean sheet was against Mumbai last year, December, I think. So, how do you think you can cover this? What do you think your team can do to keep the clean sheets?
Well, we cannot say that you have to play more defensively, that you just sit down and defend. That's not the way we as a team are. Especially if you are playing home games, that you have to give something extra for the fans, for the sake of football, for the way we play football, the mentality and character of players we have on the pitch. You know, who wants to attack, who wants to score goals. You know, I can't imagine saying, sitting together with Luna or Dimi and saying, you know what, today don't go over the middle line, just stay there, defend, and so it should be like, especially if you play at home, it's not the way also as a coach I am. But having a clean sheet is a nice thing, but again, if you as a team have to change constantly spots in your defense, whether is it starting from goalkeeper or some other players, it changed the dynamics, it changed the moment where the players get used to each other again, and that sometimes creates, with some mistakes or whatever it is, you concede goals. So in this league, there are many goals in every game, let's say, scored, so you have to deal with it. You have to deal with that, and of course you concede goal, then you have to go open more and fight in attack, so that creates this kind of game. So I think that in the previous period we were working both sides, defensively, offensively, that now till the end with 5 games you have to fight for points, you have to try to, close down your gaps behind. We see in a couple of games that even the teams who so far have the best defense lines, they concede many goals, because that's kind of football we play here. So let's hope that with the clean sheets or not conceding goals, we can get the points.
Hello, coach.
Hello.
First of all the best for the game tomorrow.
Thank you.
My question was regarding Pritham's position. He initially started off as a CB. In the first 5 to 6 games he played as a CB, and lately after for the last 6-7 matches he has been playing at the R. Could you just throw some light on the change of position?
Yeah, because Pritham is the most experienced player in ISL, if I'm not wrong, with the most games officially in ISL. As an experienced defender, he has no trouble to play whether in a central back position or full back position, because he was playing that in his career. There is no problem about that. With his leadership and everything, he's somebody who is contributing many important things on the pitch and off the pitch. And sometimes as a coach, when you want to have these kind of experienced players in your team, sometimes it doesn't matter if it's like central or on the side. So he can play at both positions. So as a coach, as a coaching staff, we have no problem to put him in, playing central, or even in a moment when we were playing without foreign central defender, Pritham and Hormi, they're doing a great job. So we have fully confidence in not only him but in everybody. So this kind of experienced players we were missing in let's say previous 2 seasons, and we're really glad to have him. So I think that confirmation of his hard work and dedication is bringing him back to the national team list. Whether later he's part of that, but it's kind of, national team is kind of confirmation. You work hard in your team. You work hard, you play your games, you improve, of course, with a constant contact with the national team staff. Of course, you exchange information, and then the national team staff is very happy with the performances, with the way how the guys developing further, and of course, then that's a confirmation. Whenever we see some of the names of our team players on the list, we are happy, we are proud. So for him, it should be kind of confirmation of his hard work. So I think whether on side or central, doesn't matter for him. He was playing in a different formations, so experienced player. Yeah, no problem for that.
In fact, we beat Mohan Bagan and Calcutta on December.
Yeah.
But altogether, Bagan is a different looking team now. New coach, some new players came in. So probably you have to rework your strategies against Mohan Bagan.
Well, like Pritham said, it's 11 against 11. Fighting for every ball, fighting for every duel, fighting for every small detail. Second ball, ball bouncing. this is what makes a difference in these kind of games. You want to play these kind of games with the full power, with intensity. The very most important part that you show with your body language and your character that you want to win this game. That's very important, that you will never back up, that you will never abandon, the duel, that you will help your teammate, running and tackling for every ball, running and fighting for every moment, helping your teammate, because later when you need help, your teammate will help you as well. So that's the strategy in this kind of games, showing with your full potential and quality that you can fight to defend when you need to defend, and that you can show with your quality up front when you need to play offensive action or positional attack or counter attack or all these, or transitions, intensity, sprinting, all these details. So it's not that one detail that you say against these teams, okay, we will do that and you will neutralize them, or it will, no, it's a full package where actually you have to, after the last whistle, you have to say like, we gave everything we had, we gave everything we need, and with this kind of approach you win games. So it will not be an easy game because they are, one of the best teams of the league. It's true that we won them, but it was different energy back then in Kolkata. Now they're different because they changed the energy with the new coaching staff. It's a different approach. And again, it's like you have these 7 domestic players, 7 national team players, and 4 quality foreigners that you have to fight against, that you play your best game and, try to get points.
Coach, any comments on the rumors about Noah's coming to Kerala Blasters?
Well, I think not only this season, I've seen as a coach, I think around 55 players coming to Kerala Blasters from all the teams. Even I was like sometimes shocked, and in many cases that's like, false rumors, I can imagine that there are people like sitting behind or creating these things online or media saying, of course, if there is any possibility to acquire players like that after the season, because depending on their situation, of course, as a club you want to act. I remember also with Pritam, like 2 years in a row, that we were trying, but now I see many times like players from certain clubs coming, like even not long time ago when Sachin got injured. We've seen that one ex-goalkeeper of Real Madrid is coming to Kerala Blasters, so you deal with those things, and the management is of course busy with those things. Like in our case, it's like we have now 1 month to play 5 games, like more concerned about that. And of course, as a club later, if you have chance to sign this kind of player, of course you will act. But so far, now you know better than me how it goes. Like here, that anybody can like just sit and create something. So.
Coach, you just mentioned that teams like Mumbai and Mumbai, they have big budgets, like they can buy whoever they want.
Yeah.
Kerala Blasters is the most popular team in the ISL, the club with the biggest fan base, and the team which attracts the biggest eyeballs, the most maximum of viewership also in the ISL. Do you think a team like Kerala Blasters deserves a bigger budget so they can handle things a lot more better, a lot more big name, more bigger names, right?
But I think in a rule of federation and everything in ISL, you have to respect the salary cap, and we as a team, as a club, we must do that, we are doing that, and then you cannot go above that budget, of course. Then, speaking about, we were speaking here many times, like when you approach certain players from abroad, coming here, many of them, they're saying, okay, I'm going far away, I'm going there, so they want money, so depending how much you can afford for these kind of things. And then as a club, we want to respect that because we are operating within our budget. So I think that as a club, we're doing our best. The owners, they're doing their best. But again, we always have to respect those things. It's not that we can go above that or say, okay, and that's a difference, because these some of those teams, they're being part of some big groups, something that's kind of how it operates. Here it's like we are the club, we want to respect the vision of owners, community, and like everybody here, like we said, creating also some of the players of our academies of this region, which actually is important, very, very important for the future of the club. Otherwise, later, if you don't do that on a longer term, you will land in a situation where there are no more players, and then you have to go around and get all, speaking of, let's say, domestic players, and you have to go and acquire some players from some other parts of the country, which actually will not be the thing you need, and you have to fill all these things into a big puzzle, you know, operating within your budget. This is how it goes. Of course, trying to increase that every year. I think automatically everybody will have to increase year by year, because there will be more and more quality. The league wants to improve. The league also wanting to help a little bit with contribution, you know, with the, I don't know, TV rights, whatever it is later, with the packages or sponsorship deals or whatever, because the quality has to go up. So as Kerala Blasters, of course, and everybody is doing the best, especially from the club, to, you know, to afford certain things to acquire those players. So far, that's it.
Coach, just the last match against Goa, we were really troubled. We had a lot of injury concerns, all these things. But that result here, the 4-2, and then against Bangalore, you said it was a good result. You compared the team with almost six or seven Indian players. You said you were very happy with your boys. So do you think that at least the match against Goa, changed things dramatically in the team? Like that injury thing is now out of your head.
But you know the fact. You know what I've seen also here in the previous seasons. Not only concerning the foreign players when they come, but especially foreign players when they arrive, we expect them to perform immediately. Saying like, okay, there is a new foreign player, he just arrived, go and play, and if you don't score 3 goals in the first game, you're not good. So it's not easy. Then domestic players, especially young players, they need time, because for them it's a huge platform, huge environment, especially playing here in this stadium. You have to get used to that, you have to get used to your teammates. Then performing in the training sessions, in the games, you have to earn that right to be accepted as a football player. And many young players, I know this feeling when I started as a younger, of course, you need one period that you get used to a senior level, because it's not a joke anymore. It's not easy. It's physical exhausting. You have to fight for every ball, and it's something new that some of new young boys, they have to have that feeling. So against Goa, of course, you get them in a game. They are enthusiastic. They are hungry to succeed. They are hungry to show something in front of their fans. And that's why we were just mentioning, if you are a domestic player, you know precisely what does it mean playing in front of your crowd, you know, because you are somebody who are bringing the identity of your community, of your state, of your city, of something. And this is something spicy that you have within some clubs around the world. That's, for example, you had examples in big clubs where one player who is from that stays for the whole career, 15, 20 years. That's identity of the club. You know, this is something that people wants to see. Community wants to see, and that you as a player, you are proud to be part of that. So as a club, we have that vision to create at least a couple of them being there. Tomorrow they have to grow up to become part of national teams. This is the whole process of a football player. So, and so far how they improve, how they develop, Pritam also can confirm, working with these youngsters, you know, they listen, they want to improve every detail, every time listening to him as an experienced player, listening to some other foreigners, you know, you see in their eyes that they want to become that. And for some of those boys, you need to give them time and space. Like foreigners, when they come, many foreigners in the past, I know in the connection or with them, they're saying, you know, I will go to India, I will play easily there, it's easier. Then they arrive at something else. After 3 games, you see them suffering. You see them dying on the pitch in cramps, you know, it's hot, it's humid, it's not easy. So for all these things, sometimes you need time, you know, for all of them. I remember even with Luna when he arrived, how he was suffering in the beginning, Dimi, and all these things. So, and as a coach, you know, you want to fit all this into one big picture. So, and we had to change it a couple of times this season. So again, you know, it's like checking or puzzling. So hope that they will show till the end that we have that force. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Davis, photo. Take a picture. Which one's yours? Thank you, Davis. Thank you, Abi.